qualify oneself that I can't claim. Did Washington write his memoirs? Did Lincoln, Jefferson, Shakespeare, Socrates? No, but Nixon will, and Agnew is undoubtedly hunched over his right now. As for Joe Allston, he has been a wise-cracking fellow traveler in the lives of other people, and a tourist in his own. There has not been one significant event in his life that he planned. He has gone downstream like a stick, getting hung up in eddies and getting flushed out again, only half understanding what he floated past and understanding less with every year. He knows nothing that posterity needs to be told about. What he really does in his study is pacify a wife who worries about him and who reads newspaper psychiatrists, urging the retired to keep their minds active. Now I finally get around to writing something. Not My Life Among the Literary, nothing more pretentious than My Days Among the Weeks. Ruth herself, having got me, as she thinks, working, goes forth into the world and agitates herself over environmental deterioration, the paranoias and snobberies of our town council, the programs of the League of Women Voters, and the deficits of the co-op. Once a week she goes down to the retirement home, convalescent hospital, death camp, and reads aloud to the shut-ins. A couple of times I have gone there to pick her up, and have come out with the horrors. How she stands, spending a whole morning among those dim, enfeebled, tottering dead, knowing that she and I are only a few years from being just like them, is beyond my understanding. They're sweet, she says. They're lonely and friendly and game and pathetic and grateful. They have so little, some of them. I suppose they are and do. As if to shame me, one of them even made me, in gratitude to Ruth, a psychedelic typewriter cover, green baize appliqued with orange and magenta flowers, asserting something sassy into the teeth of time. They've asked me to come down and talk to them about books, but I have not gone. I have no more to say to them than if we were refugees from some war, streaming along a road under air attack, diving for the same ditches when we have to, and getting up to struggle on, each for himself. What Ruth fears most in me is depression. Well, I wouldn't welcome it myself. So I will try her prescription. Write something, write anything, just put something down. For a week. The way a kid lost in the mountains might holler at a cliff just to hear a voice. I do not expect revelation to ensue, or a search party to emerge cheering from the bushes. At 11 this morning, as usual, I walked down the hill for the mail. Up on top in the sun, it was so warm that I went in shirt-sleeves, and at once regretted it, for on the drive cut into the north-facing hill it was as clammy and fishy-smelling as a cold lakeshore. The gully below the road muttered with the steep little stream still running from last week's rain. The steepness aggravated the pains in my big toe joints and knees. I found it hard to believe that no more than a year ago I used to plunge down that drive fast, letting gravity take me. Halfway down, I stopped to watch a couple of does bedded in fresh grass across the gully. We are much too tamed in these hills for mountain lions, and too subdivided for hunters. Result, an ungulate problem worse than Yellowstone's. They come in, 20 at a time, to sleep in our shrubbery and eat our pyracantha berries, roses, tomatoes, crabapples, whatever is in season. I have old socks full of blood meal hanging from trees and shrubs I value because deer are supposed to be offended by the smell. I have even contemplated getting a shipment of lion dung from that place in Los Angeles that sells it, and have only been deterred, or deterred, by the reflection that lion dung would probably offend me as much as it would offend an ungulate. These two lay tame as cows under a big oak, their jaws rolling and stopping, and rolling again as they watched me, their club ears forward, their tails twitching. Morning, neighbors. Stay the hell out of my garden if you don't want your hides full of birdshot. At the bottom of the hill, I came out of the tunnel of trees where the culvert leads the runoff under the road and between two big eucalyptus trees.